Hello and welcome to another episode of The Growth Brothers!
Yeah!
With Stephen and me.
We could do that again, but we're just going to roll.
Yeah, alright, fine, we'll carry on. Today we're going to be talking to you about transitioning from your day job into self-employment. Stephen, take it away.
I think this is one of the biggest obstacles that new entrepreneurs face. The entrepreneur that is going from the job, from the day job, to something more of their passion, to what they want to create. Because you have that weird in-between time where you're not really sure, maybe you've started and you're still working at night, you don't want to tell anyone in your job, whatever the situation is, it can be a difficult period. And I think transitioning from one to the other is very different in many different cases. Some people can just do the cut-off, go, right, I'm going to quit, hand in my notice, and that's it. From the 3rd of August, I am doing this business wholeheartedly. But then I think it takes other people to have a slower transition. Maybe they want to go on a part-time basis to begin with to allow that time to build. If you have a job right now and you are thinking or you're doing or you're creating your business, my advice to you is make sure that you know exactly where your business is before you quit, before you hand in that notice. Because if you quit and then you realize, actually, I'm now £3,000 less a month, you're going to put yourself in a more troubling situation than you perhaps need to be doing.
And some of the challenges that you might face when transitioning over, let's say you sorted it, you've got savings, you're going whole ass into your own business. Some of the things that you're going to, come across are things like managing your daily schedule. I certainly know from my experience that if I don't have to do anything, I probably won't. And that held me back in my business for a while until I decided to put in set routines on myself to actually take my business forwards. Other things like making yourself accountable. The thing is, it's your business. It's going to work if you work. And some people, they start business and they say, oh yeah, it's not going too well. The market's just not big enough, or there's not enough interest in it. And then when you ask them the question, okay, so what do you do every day, Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday to grow your business? And they say, well, I spend a couple of hours on a Monday posting in Facebook groups.
Slow clap, Well done. You are creating a business via Facebook groups.
Exactly. And when you're really committed and making yourself accountable, what you tend to do is you go, right, on Mondays I'm going to attack all the Facebook groups. On Tuesdays, I'm going to put out ads on my local area forums online, and every area has one. In fact, most areas have several. Then I'm going to contact people in the business, ask them for referrals, set up joint ventures. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, everything. That's when you're holding yourself accountable. You can't blame the world for the fact that your business is failing. I mean, in one of our previous videos, we mentioned about testing the market and making sure that your product or service is actually needed. And that, that's kind of 50% of the battle. The other 50% is actually making sure people know you exist. And if you're not making yourself accountable, people don't know you exist. Which means, of course, it's going to fuck up. I think another thing that entrepreneurs struggle with when they start their own business is loneliness. I've certainly faced a lot of loneliness. When you take yourself out of the day job, you're not commuting to work anymore, you're not seeing other people in the office. I mean, unless your business has other people, you're not seeing other people in the office.
Don't have the Friday drinks.
Don't have the Friday drinks unless you've got mates and you go out, that's it. Like Monday to Friday can be a very lonely place when you're starting your own business, apart from calling prospects or putting stuff on Facebook if you're a social media marketer.
Maybe the odd networking event.
Yeah, otherwise it can be really lonely, and you need to be prepared for this, and you need to be prepared to say, well, it might be lonely for a couple of months until I've got myself going. Again, it comes down to commitment, it comes down to making yourself accountable, and on top of that, you've also got the fluctuation of income. This is a very important thing. I know that when I started my coaching business and I went full-time last year, I didn't have my monthly income from my job anymore. So I'd have certain incomes sporadically from week to week, month to month. Sometimes I'd have 7 clients and make a shit ton of money for that month. Other times I'd have 1 or 2 clients and my income would be considerably less for a month or two. If you're not accounting for this and you're not planning ahead, you're gonna get fucked. You're not gonna have any money. You spend money on stuff you don't need because you haven't projected far enough to protect yourself from being a broke ass bitch.
And then those little thoughts come into your head. Should I get a job? Should I get one of those things that I really didn't want for so long? Those thoughts come back into your head. But in reality, you have all the resources, all the possible opportunities that you need to make it a success. But what it comes down to is, your mindset is one of those words that just gets thrown around. But it is what your perception of that situation is. Because once you go from a job to self-employed, they're two completely different ball games. You no longer have that boss to check your work or tell you when you're doing something wrong. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fail, but at least you're doing it for the right reasons, because you want to make this a success. Because if you don't fail, if you don't fuck it up, then to be honest, I think you're doing it wrong anyway. Because there's no success without a little bit of failure, without you messing up along the way somehow. So if you're sitting there and if you're an entrepreneur right now and you've recently quit your job and you're thinking to yourself, this is lonely. Yeah, I'm not actually earning as much money as I want to be earning. Just have a look around your resources. What are you actually tapping into? What are you allowing yourself to go into and explore? Because when you're employed, this is what someone tells you. You have a job description. Make a job description for yourself when you're self-employed. Tell yourself exactly what you should be doing. Like Matt said, make sure that you're setting out your goals for the day. Because I'm similar to Matt. If I don't have my days set out, then I can easily just
binge watch Netflix. Suits.
Suits.
House of Cards.
No.
Black Sails. Game of Thrones.
It's not on.
The Walking Dead.
Netflix. Game of Thrones isn't. This is not a sponsored video. But if Netflix would like to sponsor us, get in touch. I'll see you next time. Mic drop.
Thanks for checking out our videos, guys. Give us a like on Facebook, a follow on Instagram, and a subscribe on YouTube.
And don't forget to share this video, and we will see you next time.